I'm so excited to have this chance to meet, speak, and interview Alfonsina Epifani. And
That's
Alfonsina,
correct.
thank you, is joining me from Venice, Italy. Am I correct?
Yes, well, at the moment I'm in Puglia, in the south of Italy,
Oh,
but
wow.
yes, the studio is in nearby Venice, nearby
Okay.
Venice.
Amazing.
It's a Vicenza.
So is it your studio?
Yes, yes. I was living in the States, and in 2004, with the family, we decided to move back to Italy. And it was funny because before moving back, I bought five bolster, five straps, 10 blankets, and 10 yoga mat. And I packed that with me, and I said, you know what? When I go to Italy, I'm gonna start to do something. When I arrived, I dedicated myself full time to the yoga teaching.
Oh,
Full
wow.
time, full time.
Incredible. And your studio is called Dharma Yoga Venice, correct?
Okay. No, the studio is Dharma Home.
Got it.
Dharma Home.
Uh-huh.
Dharma because it's my, I hope, my path, because it comes from my teacher, Sri Dharma Mitra. A home because my studio is inside my house.
Yeah, cool.
And also home because I like people to feel at home when they come to the studio, so that we can establish a very intimate relationship. Not very intimate, but we can establish a one-to-one relationship.
Yeah.
The Dharma Yoga Venice, at the moment is a website that is in service of Sri Dharma Mitra. I built up, the idea was to build up this window. And this was after the 2019, we did the 800 hour, and it was online because of COVID. And I was at first skeptical to do yoga training online because I thought, how can the beautiful energy of Dharma and all the teachers go through? And how can I really feel? Because, when you are in a setting with other teachers and students, it creates this beautiful energy creates. But it was even better than be there because we had Sri Dharma in front of us. I could dedicate full day to the study and the listening. So it was an amazing training. And
Wow.
I have to say, yeah, that it was a confirmation for me. And this is my personal view. A confirmation that really energy goes through. It doesn't matter of space, of time.
Yeah,
Energy goes through. It's
that's a
amazing.
really good point, Alfonsina. Isn't it amazing, like the
Yeah,
reservation that we had prior to utilize computer technology and thinking
that's
like
amazing.
that it would almost like uh it would hinder the true yoga, like but now we're finding that no, actually it enhances it.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
No, I did not actually, and I'm still practicing. I still take classes online. We do psychic development, pranayama, and still, and I have to say something. Still, Sri Dharma is able to perceive what we students online are going through. I have many proofs of this. So going back, when I finished this training, I was so really, my heart was really full of devotion because I had a lot, I received a lot. So I decided to do this website as a service to spread the Dharma Yoga in Italy, just to have a reference point, because there are other teachers that teach in Italy Dharma Yoga, but many Italians do not speak very well English. And also many books from Sri Dharma are in English. So in this way, we creating, and Eugenia is also my colleague, which is helping me out with this project. We are creating a service for all Italians that want to take a training with online with Sri Dharma Mitra. Because sometimes it's expensive to go to New York,
Ah.
and everything it requires, right? So
And
in this way, I hope we will increase demand.
wonderful. Does that mean that Dharma will be teaching it, but you will be translating it into Italian for them? Or will
No, no,
you'll
no,
be
no, no,
you'll be teaching
no.
the training. You'll be teaching the training, right?
No, 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 no. I don't even teach the training. No, 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 no.
Okay.
The website, no, no, no. The website is just a window,
Oh, I see.
right?
Yeah.
There are guidelines for what is Dharma yoga. Then, if let's say Francesca wants to register, she will contact us and say, "Oh, do you think I can do it? I don't understand this. What are the books? Do you know
Now
this?" So
yeah.
we help out to participate. And if during the training they need some support, no, for free, of course, because this is a service, we give support. Let's say, I don't understand this series, how this, we just give a simple
Oh,
support.
that's so cool. What an interesting idea. That's so nice of you. That's
It's
a
simple support.
what kind of feedback are you getting and what type of energetic experience are you having being able to help people on this level? Are you finding it really exciting?
Well, of course, always very exciting, but the best feedback is that there's always more people that love to teach and practice the Dharma yoga style. And as we were speaking before, when I moved 10 years ago to Italy, there were two main styles of yoga, Ashtanga yoga and Hatha yoga. There was also Kundalini yoga, right? But let's say for more non-yogic person, for in the gyms or in a regular studio, not yoga studio, but just a fitness studio, there were these two type of yoga.
Yes.
And I believed that they were too much too extreme because Ashtanga was not for everyone. And while Hatha was too soft, few poses, little pranayama, little. So that's why I thought that there was the right moment to push a little bit the Dharma yoga style because the Dharma includes a little bit all the aspects starting from the, like he says, the physical exercise, starting from the asana, we'll go with the pranayama, then we'll go into the concentration through the practice. And so it is a full package. And I think I saw correct because many students love the style. Many students love the Dharma style because it's a complete
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah,
amazing. How old were you when you came to the States? You said you spent 18 years here.
yeah, I was
How,
young. I came in the States 25 years old. And then I was in sales and marketing. I finished my college, I finished my master in New York. And I discovered actually Kundalini yoga in New Orleans after my knee problems, but I did just a few practices, and then I started working. I like to be outside. I mean, I like to be in nature. I grew up in a farm, and because I couldn't move it because I have different issues to my knees, I found that yoga was really for me complete. Was I did always sport, but yoga was really something that nourished me
Mm,
while keeping me in shape.
yeah.
And I have always been in search, right? In search of something. Now I know what it is, but before it was just a searching of something. And in the years of practice, I can tell that I did find what I was searching, and it was just the path to my true self. Not the true self because I'm still very far away, but the path to be on the path of
Yes.
to find the inner self.
Yes.
And I find that with yoga.
Oh, that's interesting, Alfonsina. One thing that makes me think of is that I remember you just made mention a couple of times about being challenged by your knees. And I remember looking at Dharma Mitra's book and thinking of his however many yoga poses are in there. And I remember thinking, that's incredible that one person can actually go in all of those different directions and just like what incredible skill. And so then when I met him and someone had let me know or had told me that he had had knee replacements, I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked because I was still in that very early phase of enamored with yoga, thinking that all I will have to do is practice yoga and then everything will be okay. I won't have any health problems. I won't have any, I'm going to be that. I see the pictures of the older yogis, kind of like how Dharma is now, and you're just like, wow, how is somebody doing that? For me, it was very grounding. It brought me down to earth to see a very well loved and esteemed teacher be human and acknowledge that I also need some assistance from the medical community or a little bit of help with my knees. So I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about what your journey has been with the body and your relationship to then learning. Dharma had a
Important.
similar type of experience.
Yes, yes. One funny episode. When I decided to become a yoga teacher, I switched. I was 40, and I decided because I realized that I was missing too much. I had my second child, and I thought that my kids will fulfill the search that I had, right? And after my second child, still not. And I was missing so much, not be able to go and practice because at the time I was working, and one day I decided, I asked my son, my 5 years old, I said, "Oh, Leonardo, what you think? You want a rich mom with a good job, or you want a poor mom but happy teaching yoga?" And he said, "No, mom, I like you to be teaching yoga." So I decided at the age of 14, I haven't done nothing before that I will practice every day for 1 year and every morning. And if I was committed, I would drop my job and do a switch of career, total switch of career. I did it and I was happy. And so I started to do my first 200 hours teacher training. But when I was saying this to my friends, somebody very close, he said to me, "Oh, but you are too old, and then you have a broken knee." But funny enough, I went to Dharma teacher and I said, "Oh, this man is 72 and does all this." And then he said, "Oh, I just got surgery on my knee." And I said, "Yes, that's my teacher. That's fantastic. Then I can do it."
That's
And since
awesome,
then, I
Alfonsina.
never
That's so
stopped.
awesome.
It was so funny.
I love
And
hearing that.
I'm glad that,
I love hearing that.
yeah.
You said, did you say you were 49 when you decided to make the career change?
No,
Like
40, 40,
40,
40,
gotcha.
40,
That's a big
40,
deal. I
40.
mean, that's a big deal because like if you put your whole life into pursuit of successful career, and I love that you asked your son, do you want a unhappy wealthy mom or a poor happy mom? That's so sweet that he said, I want a happy mom. I want to do, I don't care about the
Yeah, I needed somebody.
money.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know,
And so going back to what you said about Dharma and the body, the physical body,
yeah,
what is great about Sri Dharma and also many other teachers, but Dharma in special, he brings yoga in everyday life. So of course, at the first moment, the first time of my career, I was all into developing asana, advanced asana, postures, and there was the most important part. And but then and also this was a little bit struggling for me because I was already 40, never done nothing before in these terms. So my flexibility grew with time. But the good things of this style is that you do what you can, but you put all your effort, and it does not matter if the final expression is a full Hanumanasana or split, or just a half, but you are giving. You are giving your intention. Your intention. You are enjoying that performance for what your body can do. So it's not an external performance. It's something inside of you, how much you put inside. And that's why I think it's important.
it's nice.
And this I underline always to my students because they say, "Oh, I'm not flexible. I cannot do yoga." They say, "No, that's the opposite. You want to do yoga so you can become flexible for what your body can do."
Yes,
And
yes,
so that's why it's so important to pass that we
yes,
know the yoga. We as a teacher, we know the yoga is not just the body, but to bring it to a common level, to everyone.
yes,
I try to underline always to pass the message. The yoga is how you feel with yourself, how good you feel to yourself, not only on the terms of the body, but also how when you leave when you finish your class, do you feel better than when you come in? Do you feel happier, released, light? That's yoga for me.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Man, I hear you, Alfonsina. If because you've been able to operate cross-culturally, you had a long stint in United States and a long time in Italy. Can you tell me if I'm a United States teacher and I'm going to Italy, what would I need to know if I was going to teach a class there that would be a different way of approaching the Italian culture
Mm.
versus the American culture?
Yes. So first of all, we have to uh, clarify. So we're talking of yoga studio, not fitness center, not gym, and because this makes a big difference when you go to a yoga studio. Whoever comes and register, it has the intention of doing yoga and maybe heard something about yoga that lets you feel good. So it's there is a will in the fitness center it's more advertising, right? There is a now it's very popular in Italy yoga. This past 4 years they have yoga everywhere, on tea bags, on everywhere, medicine and yoga everywhere. Even doctor are suggesting people go do yoga, don't take medicine, which is a huge a
Yes.
huge opening mind. So when you go to the studio, you have to consider this. Oh, let me tell you something. You know how when in America, when you start a class, sometimes the teacher says, "Oh, introduce yourself." You can do that in Italy because they know about everyone, and you don't want to say that because they know that that's the girlfriend of the other was you don't want to say that, right? So you have to maintain. Now, I'm talking of small cities, of course, Milan or Rome is not like that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But small reality,
yeah.
you have to maintain a little distance, otherwise it becomes all the chit chat, chit chat, chit chat, chit chat.
Ah, I love that
And
insight.
so you,
Yeah.
yes, and then you have to be very serious on discipline. If the class starts at a certain hour, you must start. You must end when the time is that.
Mm.
In America, it's normal, but here, no.
Ah,
So you have to also educate towards that.
yes, yes.
And then the one obstacle that I find at the beginning, no obstacle, but I have to adjust was that I opened my yoga classes with the Om, just like a vibrational sound, right? Without specifying anything. Never mention the divine or nothing. And because the religion, the major religion is a Catholic, it was viewed as a something. What is this? It's a religion. What is she trying to say? What is she trying to do? So people will close instead of coming in a space where they could be just themselves. So at the first class, the first year, I was also taken for in rent a gym to a place where there are some priests. There were some priests. So I didn't do the yoga, the Om. I didn't burn incense because it was strange. And so I just started from the physical part, starting with the physical, on the physical. And I have to say that this taught me a lot because by teaching, starting from the point of view of the body, you can integrate some little words, some little seeds of awareness of your mental state, and then little by little of your emotional state. And then through the pranayama, through the breathing exercise, they will feel that there is something more. I didn't have to tell anything. I didn't have to talk of the divine because they were touching on their own.
Yeah.
So little by little, they earn also trust in me. And so little by little, I introduced the Om, the mantra, the kirtan, and the spiritual talk sometime here and there. Until now, it's 10 years. So I'm open, they know me. And they know the spirituality is not just confined into a church or into a religion, but it's something that it's basically it's love. It's something that is open, doesn't have to
Yes.
be enclosed.
Yes. Wow, that's a really beautiful description, Alfonsina, because I feel like that also is a challenge that not only would happen in Italy, but all over the world. And I think it's a really interesting challenge, like you're saying, to feel a connection on some level spiritually to a tradition, and then to be able to convey that in a different tradition where it comes across one and the same in a way, or where it's not offensive or intrusive. And I love the fact that you even mentioned this took 10 years, or this is taking 10 years. This is a long-term project. So like you're looking at
Yes.
it from the yeah, it's not like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes,
like
but
sometimes
now thank God, yeah, now that yoga is spread, really, it's very known. It's known now. There is a different approach too. So now it's more common to everybody knows about the Om, about the breathing, about the Yana Mudra. They know about this. Yeah, but it's interesting. It's always an experience. I was volunteering. I do a lot of karma yoga, but just because I believe that the more we can share the yoga practice, the more we benefit to everyone. I did the karma yoga for 3 years to women from a Muslim religion. They were in my city, and they could not go to the gym because they were men, right? So, because I knew some of these women, and we had our child in the same class, I decided to offer yoga class. And also from there, I learned a lot. And it was amazing because also there, I did not have, I was sensible not to use words that could, in certain way, uh, close, have them close enough to the 1 hour that I wanted to create an open environment, right? So
yes.
little by little, little by little, we work out. It came out very good, and at the end, they felt their own spirituality in their own language and understanding. And it was the same as mine, but I didn't express in words. But the end was the same.
Yeah,
It
that's
was amazing.
that's so cool. Do you think that maybe this might have been part of the energy of the seed of yoga, that it, because it seems like it can go into any culture and any
Yes,
religion
absolutely.
without being dogmatic or intrusive, and then help whatever is already there to blossom a little further. Do you,
Yes, yes.
there
I
must
do. I
be,
do.
yeah,
Yes, I believe it. This is.
yeah,
It is like this because when you start to move your body, and the body is something tangible that we have, right? So when we move the body, we start experiencing a releasing of the toxin, all the things we do with yoga, right? But then you start experiencing an aspect of yourself. And then, if you are willing to continue little by little, you start to look at that aspect from a different perspective, and more involved, but you do a step back and you start observing. And then you start touching that you are feeling well. It doesn't matter if it's yoga, if it's what, if it's singing, right? It doesn't matter. But you start to understand that you have the power to do something good to yourself. And the more you do something good to yourself, the closer you become to your true self, because then you know the way to get there. And then once you know the way, then you can call it whatever you like, but you know the way. And I believe that love doesn't matter, it doesn't have any religion or language. That's universal. So
yeah.
when you touch the universal sensation, you're already there.
Well said. You know, you made mention that when you became a mom, you thought that perhaps motherhood would be the key that you were seeking to help you feel peace and love and or purpose in life. And then you said, "Look, I know I'm still working on my journey, but now I know, or I know what I need to do, or I know what I'm doing." Can you explain a little further what transition occurred there and what that knowing is that potentially could
Mhm.
help to guide us as well into, you know, finding to some sort of sense of what you're saying.
Yes, I hope that is making sense of what I say. I
It is
speak
making
just by the heart.
it is making
Yeah.
I think like a lot of
Um,
people are looking and seeking and searching, and we all
yes,
start seeking and searching. So to
yes,
actually
it's our
reach
nature.
to reach a point where you say, "Oh, I found what I'm looking for." I know I
Yeah.
still have a lot more to do within this field, but can you put that into words?
Yes, 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 because I like to think about these things. Um, I find what I want. What I want is just to express my inner self. What is my inner self? Well, yes, it's Alfonsina, his mom is a yoga teacher, but it's to express that inborn, you say inborn love that is already inside. You know, when we say that we have the little flame inside, right? There is always a little flame, and that's what charges you, and that's what brings your enthusiasm to keep going. But most of the time, at least in my case, I did not recognize what it was. Now I can call it that is the divine inside of me because with all these years in the study, I said, well, this is exactly what I feel inside. I mean, uh, so um, I feel that when I'm very close to that inner self, I'm a better person. But also, I don't need anything else. I can just stay there. It's like when you are in meditation and you reach the spot that you could be death, you can be alive, you can be. It's just perfect as it is. It's just perfect as it is. And that's why when I had my children, I always wanted to have kids. I thought that that would have been the most fulfilling things, but it's not even that. For me, at least, it's not even that. It's just the opportunity to experience love in all terms, but to experience love. And because it's beautiful, you experience love in the moment you give, and in the moment you give, you just uh, nourish that flame even more, and then you want to give even more, and then you see that you live in this world that it's beautiful. See, I always thought that it was my dream when I was a little girl that I would love to live in a world of peace where we respect each other, we love each other. But of course, growing, you realize that it's not always like that. Can be peace and love, right? True is that yes, it could be, but a war, a fighting, misunderstandings, they are also part of life. It's just that cannot be a perfect, ideal life. It's all part of it. So you cope with it, like Dharmaji says, you cope with it, but inside, you know where you are. You know that you are always, that there is a center where you are always happy, no matter if you have or if you don't have. And
Yeah.
then I guess when you move from there, you are satisfied with whatever you have. And you are satisfied in seeing other people enjoy what you enjoy too. I
Yes.
don't know if I gave the answer. It's so
You
complex.
did. I'd like to challenge you with a question like that because that is a hard one to answer. It's hard to put that stuff into
Oh
words.
yeah.
I think you
Oh,
did a
it can
great.
go so much.
Well, thank you. That is amazing, Alfonsina. I think when you use the word flame, that definitely helps me to like visualize what it is you're talking about. Like recently, I've been reading a little bit about consciousness in relation to when I'm starting to think about it in relation to artificial intelligence as a form of
Oh yeah.
consciousness. And, the idea that our consciousness can be in it can very easily go from house to house to house in the sense of like if our body's the house, it can travel from it's no problem for it to move from the next house to the next house. And I guess when someone was talking about a computer and the way consciousness is starting to evolve within a computer. And as I'm looking at it from that angle, I'm realizing, wow, it is just all consciousness. I'm not saying that the computer consciousness is of the same importance or value or better or worse, but if I look at it from that angle, it seems to make sense. So I like that when you say fire, enkindling it and giving, and then your fire grows a little and you want to give more, I think that's a really good clue into how maybe if I'm really struggling and having a tough time with life to see beauty, that potentially that's a solution right there.
Yeah. It could be a solution. I
Could
think
be a
that's
solution.
it's hard to get there because we all have that flame inside.
Yeah.
It's hard because of the construction, no, social
Yeah.
construction, religions, and family.
Yeah.
That's why I think that yoga is amazing because starting from the body, you work on the body that is tangible, and then little by little, if you are constant, of course, a little by little, it start to transform you inside. You don't even have to know why and how and why you react in a different way in that situation, but it transforms you inside, especially with the pranayama, with the meditation, with the concentration. And meditation doesn't have to be that you sit there and that's it. It's just to constantly think about what it is, this universal consciousness, what it is. And sometimes it seems that I grasp it, but my brain it doesn't expand as much to understand it. But at the end, who cares? I don't understand well. I don't understand, but I want to feel it.
Yeah. Great point. Did you, so what time is it in Italy there? Where are we
Oh
now?
no, I think it's 7 p.m.
In the evening. So throughout your day today, can you give me a little bit of a day in the life of Alfonsina? Do you wake up at 5 a.m.? Do you wake up at 8
Oh yeah.
a.m.?
Well,
What is
no,
it like for you?
today, today I just painted the entire wall of my facade in the house. So I did the housework because
Nice.
I'm restructuring the house.
Nice.
I did it, but I wake up just doing my pranayama because I know that I had a very heavy day physically. So I try in my regular day, I try, yes, to get up early. Unfortunately, before it was easier for me to get up at 5 before the kids would grow up. So by 7, I would have done my pranayama, some meditation, just what it is, what naturally comes. And then sometime do some yoga posture, not the whole practice because I wouldn't make it, but some yoga posture. I have to say something about this. I've been for 15 years very disciplined, getting up in the morning, do all the practices, boom, 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 boom. And now I think that also the discipline is becoming a, a, a structure, too much structure. So I'm working on exactly this summer, I'm working on to let it go and see when the body needs. So sometime in the afternoon, I just do my practice because my body is so used to that I have to do my little practice. Or sometimes it's at night. Or sometimes I skip and I drink a coffee in the morning. Before it was no coffee, no in the morning, just water and lemon. And now I drink the coffee and I don't feel less spiritual. I don't feel less spiritual. Then there is always a time during the day that I need to go back. And then I just sit quietly and whatever it is, I do some pranayama or just stay there. But it's inside. And so I'm enjoying now this switch.
Yeah.
However, discipline is very important. I think that if you are not, don't, if you didn't do for many years every day, then it's harder to fall and then not to come back. But I think when you feel that it's you have be centered when you do your own practice, when you do the little practice, little or long, whatever you feel to,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
So
I remember hearing that old like kung fu or Zen statement of like before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water.
the
And
water.
I think like you're gonna keep doing the same stuff. That's really not gonna change, but the way you see it might. And I think that the way that you're mentioning discipline being very important and it's almost like we need the discipline to then be able to now, like what you're saying, drink the coffee and still feel like I'm the same person. But before, when we were drinking the coffee, before the disciplined practices, we weren't we weren't really there yet. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that a fact? It's so classic. I know it's so
Yeah,
interesting.
no, there are those sense of guilt, but it's part of the path. I think you have to build, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I will not drink three coffee
Yeah.
because although you need it, it's terrible because every time somebody comes, let's go get a coffee. Say, no, okay, yes, I can, but I drink water. But you don't do that. But you don't do it because you understand that it's not good. But let's talk about attachment. I have an attachment for coffee. Yes, I do. But now, when I get up in the morning, water and lemon or just water, it's my body requires that. And I'm able to say, yes, I love my coffee, but let me do my pranayama first. But not because it's a discipline, but because I do better with my pranayama if my body is clean.
Yes.
And then I enjoy also my coffee afterward.
Yes. Good point. Good point. You know, I mean, the one thing I love about Italy, Alfonsina, is that it seems like people are a little more passionate and willing to take a little bit more time to just stop and smell the roses a bit.
Yeah,
Do you agree with that? Because you get to live there
yes,
full time, and you know how like when you live
yeah,
somewhere long enough, then it wears off. But do
yeah.
you still feel that that's an essential part of the culture there?
Yes, yes, absolutely. It is. It is. Also, it's a little bit different to north and south because north was industrialized much before. So there is more that pace, I want to say the American pace, right? So work, 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 work. But I think all Italians, we enjoy the food, of course, but the flavor in the food, right? So no need to eat six peach. You eat one fresh, local, and that's good enough. But just because we are used to some flavors, we are used to some quality, and so it's also easier in a way, it's also easier to enjoy simple things. Of course, I'm generalizing because I'm talking for the majority. Okay, I'm not talking
Yeah.
of super rich people that have a
Yeah.
total different style of
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, you take the time. It, it's when even though you are working a lot, you take the time to walk in the green, to go take a ride. You do take the time
Yes.
to stop
Yeah.
to stop. But America that doesn't allow this because stores are always open. So it's not that at 8 o'clock they close. It's not that at 1 o'clock everything is closed and you have to go home. So in the big city, it's the same as in the United States.
Yeah.
Milan,
Yeah.
Venice, Rome, of course, it's the same. But in small cities, you still have a pace.
Yeah. Good point.
So you are kind of forced to stop.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
point. Oh man, do you see yourself living in Italy for the rest of your life?
Yeah, now at this age, yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
At this age, yes. I
yes,
love United States. I love United States. They gave me so much. But at this point, because I now my only interest is to grow in my no in my profession, but in my growth, my personal growth, my personal practice, and I do need an environment where I can take it easy,
yeah,
where I don't have to run, run, run. And this year, for the first time, I will slow down also with my classes. I used to teach 4 classes from Monday to Friday, and on Saturday, 2 classes. And I did this for 10 years in a row. And it was necessary because I wanted to I want to bring yoga to as much people as I could. But this has become a job, and I don't like anymore now because I don't have time for myself
yeah,
to do my practice. I need energy for my own practice.
yeah.
And so now, going forward, I'm reducing my teachings, and at least I can have the morning to do all my practices.
Nice.
And yeah, because one thing is well, for American people, it's more normal, but for us, maybe less. Sometimes because we are yoga teacher, because we work with the body, we think, oh, we're gonna be always healthy, right? But because we use our body so much, we skip a meal because you have to teach, especially when you teach too much. You are getting weaker and weaker on your body. So you do need time to have your massage, to have your lunch and rest. And when you get older, like in my age now, I do need time to rest more. Otherwise, even my meditation is going to be just, I'm not able to sit and stay still. I'm not, because I'm tired or I fall asleep.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, yeah, right now I'm saying, okay, now I'm 57. How I want to continue. I did already. I gave what I could, but now I want to improve my own personal practice.
Yeah. Great point, Alfonsina. I hear you. Do you like to read?
Yeah, of course, yes, I love.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Okay, is there anything you can recommend to us, or is there a certain philosophy or inspiration that you're receiving currently or reading currently?
Um,
Something you've read recently that you found really helped to.
Well, no, but currently I'm reading for the fourth time the Yogi Gupta book, Psychic Development. Yogi Gupta is the teacher of Sri Dharma Mitra. And I like to read over and over the same book sometimes because my awareness is different.
Yeah.
I am to a different point, so I can go deep into it. And but I do read a beautiful book. I think it's beautiful. Is the Dhammapada. I think it's very inspirational. Very inspirational. And what I read lately, I can't remember the name. It's um, I don't
It's
remember
okay.
the name.
It'll pop.
But I like to read a lot of autobiography from teachers, from yoga teacher or other human being, excellent human being, because I find them very inspiring. Doesn't have to be the path of yoga. It's just a confirmation that if you like to do something and you put your energy into it, you achieve it.
Yes. I'm curious, you mentioned you're reading for the fourth time. It said the book is called
Mhm.
Psychic Development. Can you talk a little bit about what type of realizations you are having about the validity of psi phenomena or psychic ability or telepathy or whatever word we'd like to use
Mhm.
here?
Yes.
Obviously, you've been focused on this for a while and you've been around the Dharma yoga community where what I think is really interesting that Dharma put emphasis on psychic development and was
Mhm.
even is even has it on a schedule as a class.
Yes, it does. It
Yeah.
does. It does.
So
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about your journey with realization of
It is.
this and the reality of it in your own life?
Yes, sure. So the book is a yoga and yogic powers, my psychic development. The course that Sri Dharma gives is a psychic development. To say simply in a simple way, when you maintain your body clean meaning from food, of course, and from pranayama, because you want to bring your vibration uh, in a certain state, right? And also from your no karma yoga, but from your compassion. So uh, your dharma says the ability to put yourself right in other, but compassion also is to, for what I see, compassion is also to be present in what the other person is experiencing that moment. Be present in terms of the energy, because even if, well, okay, that's enough. I answer your question because then I go around. So how I see this psychic power expressing? Of course, I don't know what Dharma has. Dharma has a very high developed psychic power, but in my small life, when I am clean, I am able to perceive the energy of the other person. Also, when I'm teaching, when I perceive the other energy, it comes through you as an insight. So it comes through you as a, not as, I mean, you don't question, you know, as a fact. I know as a fact what the sensation of the other person is. So then, in that sense, you can say the right word, or you can say whatever comes from you. You become, I don't want to say a medium, but you a vessel to verbalize that energy in a certain way. And then you meet the other person that you have in front of you, or the energy of the group. Sometimes when we teach, when there is a class, right, at the beginning, I always say in general, I speak little during class, but I try to do some salutation and I feel what's the energy of the class. And I had maybe in my mind, oh, today we're going to do hip opening. But then there is something stronger that it's pulling me to just do more meditative lesson. So that's what I believe. It's that ability to perceive what's around you. But of course, you have to stay clean. And you are clean with your own practice.
Yeah. Well said. Thank you, Alfonsina. Amazing. You have a good way. You have the ability to communicate some of these more challenging concepts.
They are very simple if you just look
Yeah.
inside, right?
Yeah.
It's the, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if they are not, they seem challenge, but they are very simple because we all have that power of feeling, right? You enter in one environment, and you know, let's say when you are looking for a new apartment, to me happens very often. You enter and you know already that the energy,
Yeah.
it's not, it's colliding with it's not the right one. This is psychic power. It's just that we are not used to put attention to what I'm feeling and to give credit to what I'm feeling.
Mm.
And then in the moment the doubt comes, that's it. Then you miss the opportunity to understand what it is.
Yes. Well said. Do you weave in other art practices into your life? For example, actually fine art or singing, music, playing music,
Um,
cooking? Do you have
oh,
another
those are just everyday things. Cooking is everyday hard. Yes, I do. No, but I love gardening a lot. I love gardening
You do? I was
from
wondering,
vegetables to plants. Yeah,
is the
I love.
property is where you live, you said, is south of Venice. How far south of Venice are you?
It's a 1 hour, 50 minutes by car from
So
Venice.
so
Yeah.
when you're teaching now, you're teaching in your home. Is that correct?
Yes, yes,
Got it.
yes.
Got it.
Sometime I do event for the Dharma Yoga Venice.
Yeah.
We did the Dharma Yoga event. We
Uh-huh.
did two, but Venice is extremely expensive. Extremely. It's not
Just
always possible because Venice, it doesn't have a large rooms. They
just to,
are only
just to
by
go
hotel.
in just to go in for the day, you feel like, oh boy, this is going to cost so much, just the transportation and then whatever facilities.
Yeah, that's the minimum of the cost. That's the
Yeah.
minimum. Of
Yeah.
course, it's an
Yeah.
experience, right?
Yeah.
We do,
Yeah.
yeah. I plan events, but in Venice, it has to be. I have to space it out a little bit more because to rent a space is extremely expensive. Extreme. We're talking of thousand. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Can you paint a picture with words what your garden looks like?
Oh my God! Oh yeah, it's the back. It's very. There is a side that is dedicated to yoga, so where we practice outside every time it's possible. Because I do believe that practicing outside has a different energy, and also like to challenge my student when we do inversion. I teach them to fall. So outside on the grass, you can fall and you don't get hurt, right? And then on one other side of my garden, I have my little tomatoes, eggplants, string beans, parsley, basil. So I like to take care of the little veggies,
Yeah.
little veggies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's one thing I think is
yeah,
so incredible about Italy is it seems like more people have small gardens and so it just
yeah.
feels like here you'll drive and then you'll see this massive field of a monoculture of one crop, and in Italy it feels a little more um cottage like, or
Yeah, it's more
more
useful.
people.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, because it's simple. You really, Mother Nature does everything. You have to just water and make sure that you assist those plants, and
Yeah.
then the fruit
Yes. Yes.
comes on its own. Yeah.
Oh man, I want to come visit Alfonsina. It sounds
Yeah, sure.
it sounds so nice.
Yes, sure. Anytime. I'm glad. I'm glad that we had this opportunity. And
I
thank you very much for inviting me.
thank
And yes,
you.
thank you also for Andrew.
I know. Thank you, Andrew and Pam, for introducing us. I really appreciate
Yes,
it. I'm grateful for you to, be so generous with your time and honesty and sharing your stories. I really enjoy meeting you, Alfonsina.
thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to close with send us off with a little bit of inspiration and or motivation?
Yes, yeah, I like to say to compare. Yeah, that's good. I with my favorite saying from the Buddha that says the man can do only two mistakes: not to choose its own path. It's the first one, and the second one is not to bring all the way to the end.
Hmm.
I think I translate in so I said there are only two mistakes that a man can do: not to choose his path, and when he chooses not to bring it all the way to the end. I believe that it's important to believe in what you feel inside and bring it to the end. And for sure, you achieve what you want. For
And
sure.
that is beautiful. Can you say that in the Italian language? So if any of your students are listening
Sì,
and they don't know
sì.
English, and so I can hear, I
Sure,
love this. Okay.
sure.
Okay.
So, questo è un detto del Buddha e dice: ci sono solo due errori che l'essere umano può fare, quello di non scegliere il proprio cammino e quello di non portarlo fino in fondo.
Aha.
Um,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.